Yeah, this is our first time here, right?
Yes.
Unless you've been moonlighting with someone else. Let's do Tomorrow's Gonna Be Better. Alright, this song's called Tomorrow's Gonna Be Better. Sometimes it's easier to hide away when the winter comes and it's shorter days. But I know the dark clouds won't stay. Tomorrow is gonna be better. Sometimes it's easier to hit the road when the world has given you a heavy load. But if you stay and face it, I know tomorrow is gonna be better. Let the rain fall. Let the rain fall till the day's new and all that's left is just me and you. The best part of us is part of me. So with you is where I'd rather be. But if you can't, I understand. I still believe tomorrow is gonna be better. Let the rain fall. Let the rain fall till the day's new and all that's left is just me and you. I know it's just one of those days, but just stay strong. And I'm gonna find a way to take it all and make it okay. Tomorrow is gonna be better. Tomorrow is gonna be better. Let the rain fall. Let the rain fall till the day's new and all that's left is just me and you. Let the rain fall. Let the rain fall till the day's new and all that's left is just me and you. And all that's left is just me and you. Thank you. This is Brandon Walters accompanying me, by the way.
Very nice. You know, what
I just want to play something real slow so everyone falls asleep.
So hot.
what I just learned about you is that you started playing the guitar at a much later age than a lot of people that are in music. When you were 27 or 28, you taught yourself? 30?
Yeah.
And so just one day you decided, I'm going to teach myself to play the guitar.
Actually, I was 29.
Okay.
I started writing songs.
Oh, in that case. But you have an artistic background. You went to Northwestern and studied painting, is that correct?
Yeah, painting and drawing.
And what led you to want to try music?
I don't know, I was just always a music fan, you know, and I was, growing up, I just, you know, I didn't have anyone in my family that played music, so it wasn't like, we were all big music fans, and my parents raised me on the Beatles, but it was like...
Which is the story you hear most of the time.
Right, you know, so there's music all in the house all the time, but just on the radio. And I just always thought it was like a magic trick, you know, that no one ever taught me, and when you don't grow up doing it, it seems so daunting. So one day I just decided to get a guitar and learn a few chords, not to become a musician or anything, just to, more as a meditative thing. You know, I was writing screenplays at the time. You know, I was always liking to do, sort of wanting to just be creative in some way. And whenever I was stuck on a scene, you know, writing dialogue, I'd pick up the guitar and learn a new chord or something, or learn a Dylan song or something like that. And after I learned like 4 chords, I started seeing in these songbooks from the Beatles and Dylan and Paul Simon, all these artists that I loved listening to growing up and still love, that you could kind of play a lot of these songs with just 3 or 4 chords, and it was just really about the sentiment of the song and then coming up with the melody, and it didn't seem like such a magic trick anymore. So I guess it just came out of me wanting to be one of those guys. You know, I used to go to see concerts all the time, and like I said, I would look up at these guys playing and say, it was like someone was sawing a woman in half, and I couldn't figure out how they were doing it. And after just learning a few chords, it seemed easier than, not that it's easy, or what they were doing. I certainly wouldn't.
Piece of cake. Anybody can do this, really.
No, and what they were doing, I'm talking about, you know, obviously the best songwriters ever. So it wasn't easy. It just seemed like that they were writing from experience, and I believed what they were saying. So if it was truthful, you know, with that old adage, you need 3 chords and the truth to write a good song. Well, I learned 3 chords, and so I just figured I was going through a breakup with this girl, and I had something to say, you know, that I needed to get off my chest. So that's when I just started writing songs, and I just kind of fell into it. You know, it wasn't like a...
It comes natural. See, is there more of a challenge to write the lyrics behind a song as opposed to the music? If it's really a 3-chord thing and a feeling, is it more challenging to find the words?
For me, it is more challenging to find the lyrics, because I always write the music first. You know, sit around and just be playing guitar on the couch or something, and just be picking, and then just start singing like nonsense. You know, it's a melody like, you know, almost like people speak in tongues. You know, it's just, I'll just be singing nonsense. And then I'll craft the whole song that way. And then I'll wait till I have something I really need to get off my chest before I write, that fit the lyrics into it. I only started doing it that way because I saw a 60 Minutes special when I was growing up of Paul Simon, and he said that's how he does it. So he was my dad's favorite songwriter, and he became one of my favorite songwriters. And although he said in that special that he puts a tape recorder down and then throws a racquetball against the wall, and he was doing it just like catching it and then just speaking, you know, words. Words don't come to me like that. I think he's a genius poet.
Sure. Would you consider the inclusion on Scrubs and the Zach Braff connection, was that the big break for you?
I guess, although I never really considered myself having a big break. Every kind of thing I've done so far playing music is like, every day it gets a teeny bit bigger. You know what I mean? I never woke up one morning and I was like, oh, I made it. I still don't. You know, it's still just one of those things where I love doing what we do. And every now and again, you know, my manager or accountant calls and says, "Hey, we got a check for something," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool."
So there it is. There you go. So this is the biggest moment then. This is bigger than Scrubs being here right now. That's great. I'm so glad you think that. That's really nice of you to say that.
Well, I think anytime anyone comes to listen to you do what you love to do is a big moment. It's and I don't mean it as like a corny kind of fake humility. It's more just like. You know, like nowadays, you know, they've got the American Idol and X Factor and all those things where people, or the radio, I mean, this is more AAA radio, I'm talking like with top 40 radio where like Beyonce, you know, plays a song and the next day it's, you know, it's on, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of spins everywhere all over the world. Like, I guess I don't really have that kind of music, so it's every time, you know, I hear something of mine on the radio or on a TV show or in a movie or something like that, I'm like, oh, that's great. You know, it never gets old.
You know, Philip Phillips is the reigning Idol champion, and he's a singer-songwriter. He wrote his songs.
Well, my friend actually wrote that song.
Oh, he did? Okay, I'm sorry, he didn't write that song. You would know. We'll go straight to the source here.
His name's Greg Holden, and he's a great singer-songwriter. When he played that song, I was like, wait, I know that song.
What do you think these competitions do overall? We've been around it for about 10 years now between Idol and X Factor and The Voice and America's Got Talent. What does that do overall for music? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
Gosh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you if it's good or bad. I mean, I haven't really watched those shows, but obviously I hear about those people. I mean, because I think every now and again you find people on those shows that really have staying power. But it's such a difficult thing to do. I would never go on one of those shows because it feels like the odds are you're looking at like a 3 or 4 year career. You know, if people find out about you overnight, they're going to forget about you just as easily. But if it's an organic build and you kind of get fan by fan, town by town, and that's kind of always the way that people I work, that I've built this team, manager and agent, you know, they've always told me if it takes longer, the longer it takes to build up, the longer it takes to tear down.
That's a great point, and that good segue to tonight's event at the ISO, the Happy Hour. Looking forward to seeing you there. And let's hear
I can't wait.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
It starts at 5, so get a few drinks.
I've never
and
played with an orchestra before.
Yeah, that'd be very cool.
Amazing.
Well, we're looking forward to it tonight, and let's hear some more right now from Joshua Radin.
Okay. Let's do a happy song.
Yeah.
We do it here. Let's keep it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a song that I wrote. It's called Brand New Day. It's very hopeful. I wrote it after my ex-girlfriend and I split up, and I went through like a real long, about a year's worth of, you know, depression and writing very morose music. And then one day I woke up and it had alleviated, you know, it seemed like by itself. And I figured I'd better take the opportunity to write a happy song because I hadn't in so long. Some kind of magic happens late at night when the moon smiles down at me and bathes me in its light. I fell asleep beneath you in the tall blades of grass. When I woke, the world was new. I never had to ask. It's a brand new day. The sun is shining. It's a brand new day. For the first time in such a long, long time, I know I'll be okay. Most kind of stories save the best part for last. Most stories have a hero who finds you make your past your past. Your past, your past. It's a brand new day. The sun is shining. It's a brand new day. For the first time in such a long, long time, I know I'll be okay. It's a brand new day. For the first time in such a long, long time, I know I'll be okay. Try to play someone that, like, this is my only song I think that's ever been on the radio. I guess that's why I have a love-hate relationship with it. Because I wrote it, that I love the fact that it's been on the radio because it takes me all over the world. You know, it's like sometimes you just have one song that it gets played on the radio in other countries, and it affords you the ability to travel, not just as a tourist, but the coolest part about traveling this way is that after every show we like to meet people, and they take us to all the cool bars and restaurants that you have to look up in a book, and try to meet people and walk up to people cold in a bar and be like, "Hi, I'm Josh. Can you show us around?" And these people are like, "Well, can we take you to this bar that's the best one in Prague?" And you're like, "Yes, of course." So it's the best job ever. But it's the hate part of the song is that I wrote it for my ex-girlfriend to try to get her back, and it didn't work. It's called "I'd Rather Be With You." It's just a simple little love song. We're sitting here on this lonely dock, watch the rain play on the ocean top. All the things I feel I need to say, I can't explain in any other way. I need to be bold, need to jump in the cold water, need to grow older with a girl like you. Finally see you were naturally want to make it so easy when you show me the truth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd rather be with you. Say you want the same thing too. Now here's the sun, come to dry the rain, warm my shoulders and relieve my pain. You're the one thing that I'm missing here. With you beside me, I no longer fear. I need to be bold, need to jump in the cold water, need to grow older with a girl like you. Finally see you were naturally born to make it so easy when you showed me the truth. Yeah, yeah, I'd rather be with you. Say you want the same thing too. I could have saved so much time for us had I seen a way to get to where I am today. You waited on me for so long, so now listen to me say, I need to be bold, need to jump in the cold water, need to grow older with a girl like you. Finally see you were naturally born to make it so easy when you showed me the truth. Yeah, I'd rather be with you. Say you want the same thing too. Say you feel the way I do. Stand for one, I think. You can play that tenor? Yeah. You haven't played it yet, right? I haven't. Okay, good. Good. So I got a song, let's see. This is a song that I wrote that's, it's kind of like my mantra. I wrote it to like be a mantra in a sense, you know. The best advice I ever got from anyone was to not have any envy and to not have any fear. And I had so much of both at the time when I was told this, that I figured if I wrote a song called No Envy, No Fear, and I played it every night, it would like kind of reinforce that idea in my mind, and it has. It's amazing how, I mean, every night I start my concerts with this song. Because there's just something about, I always get a little afraid before I walk on stage, you know, you never get used to it, and I don't get comfortable till like I'm done playing this song. It's strange. I'm gonna get loud, so we do it there? Yeah. Okay. Maybe this mic will pick it up.
reaching if you are there. I want to rain from a hero's chair. Or some are scared to fly so high. But this is how we have to try. Have no envy and no fear. Have no envy and no fear. Brother, brother, we all see you're hiding out so painfully. See yourself come out to play. A lover's rain will wash away your envy and your fear. Have no envy and no fear. Have no envy, no fear. Have no envy and no fear. Every day we try to find, search our hearts and our minds, the place we used to call our home. Can't be found when we're alone. Have no envy and no fear. Have no envy and no fear.
Thanks a lot for coming and listening. And thanks to 92.3 for having us.
Thank you, Joshua Radin. Let's hear it. Excellent. Okay, so everybody's leaving.
Walters too.
Oh yeah. So everybody's gonna leave and then come back in.